Hey guys, this is Anna with Hope Sticks, and I'm coming to you for the first podcast. Um, yeah, the first podcast. So, anyway, what I want to talk to you about today is it's time to start talking about mental health. There are just too many people who are suffering, and most are suffering in silence. So, let's together break down the negative social stigma of mental illness so we, as a people, can be healthy, productive members of society. First, I need to say I am not a licensed therapist or counselor, nor do I pretend to have any of the skills necessary. I am a survivor, I am a warrior, and I am your advocate. So, this podcast has been created to create awareness or to bring awareness, education, resources with guest speakers, and more. And with your help, Hope Sticks will break down these stigmas and create new policies and better trainings to aid in community healing nationwide. For this podcast, I want to share how Hope Sticks got started. But first, some backstory. In 2018, trauma struck my life. I was already fighting serious depression and suicidal ideations. It was horrible. This trauma, though, is what propelled me into finding Hope Sticks, or you could say Hope Sticks finding and saving me. That's really what it was all about. For 6 months, I battled hospital administration, doctors, and therapists advocating for a family member. They were going to kill them had I not advocated. Fast forward the 6 months to April 2019, right before my 42nd birthday, I felt a snap, like a pop in my head. I don't know what it was to this day, but I just know I fell deeper into a depression, and guys, I was in a really dark place. In early May, I think it was I don't know what day it was, but in early May I snapped and exploded at work. The thing of it is that I absolutely loved my job, but that consequently would be my very last day at that job. I left work after berating my coworker and hearing my boss tell me that he didn't want to work with me anymore. I fled. It's what I'm really good at doing. I said I was going to the hospital, but instead went and parked at the Cars parking lot. Cars is a grocery store in Alaska. I cried, I shook, and I called my dad, which was an unlikely phone call for me, but it turned out to be the best call. He helped calm me down, and I was able to get appointments with my therapist and my psychiatrist, but not till the following Monday. It was Thursday. How the heck was I going to make it through to Monday? I had to call my neighbor to come and take my pills because I had a solid suicide plan and was on the brink of following through. Somehow I made it through the weekend with a few friends checking in on me, and I know if it wasn't for them, I would have given up. I met with my therapist and was admitted to a facility. Now, this was the second one that I was in. My first one I was 17. However, the stay was very short lived because I began to experience extreme social anxiety, and this place was doing group therapy, and I just freaked out. So I I was able to check myself out and leave. So at that point in time, I then began to devise a plan with my psychiatrist and my counselor, and we devised a plan on getting me out of Alaska and back to Georgia where I had family. That way, I could have the support I would need in a family sense. So that's in May. It wasn't until July I actually left Alaska. So in between the time of May and July, what did I do? That's a great question. So early on, I learned that fire and water are two elements that really help me. So we had this fire pit in the backyard. It was dilapidated. We had had so many fires in it. It was just falling apart. Um, but we had these fire. Anyways, I would build a fire, and I mean it would be like middle of the day, hot, and I would still have a fire. Well, one day I found a stick. It was a really nice stick, and I just like, you know what? I got to do something. And I have found one of my knives. I probably just pulled it out of somewhere, not knowing where it had been. And I was like, well, let me whittle this. And so I went and sat down by the fire, brought my knife and this stick, and I started whittling it. And it felt really, really good. And I started whittling the wrong way. I brought the knife up to my face and, all the things that you're not supposed to do with a knife. I've since learned how to use a knife. Thank goodness. um, but I whittled it and whittled it and whittled it and got it real smooth, got all the bark off of it. And then I asked some friends, I'm like, well, how do you sand it down? I had no idea how to use sandpaper or what the numbers meant. I didn't know any of that. So I asked a friend of mine if he could, tell me and guide me, and brought me some sandpaper. Because remember, I'm social anxiety and I cannot go out anywhere. I can't leave. I'm frightened for my life. Um, so he brought me some sandpaper and I got to sanding. I used, a larger grit, a smaller grit, and then worked my way up to a larger grit. And I smoothed it out and I stained it and it just came out really, really sharp. And then somehow, I was like, man, this is a hope stick. And so that stick is what really started Hope Sticks. It's amazing to me where Hope Sticks has come just from that time in 2019 in Alaska, in Anchorage, Alaska. It's amazing to me to see where I have come. I have, I'm on, I think, 6 different medications. Several of them are for anxiety. I have a stabilizer. Um, I've got a ceiling and I've got a floor and then the stabilizer. A couple anxiety pills and then a sleeping pill. So I don't typically take my sleeping pill. I don't. But it has been a period of trial and error with my medicine, but for the first time in a very long time, my medicine is at a good place and I'm pretty stable. So I feel healthy. I don't have suicidal ideations. For the longest time, I had to have my medicine locked up into a safe that I didn't have access to, because I couldn't say that I wasn't suicidal. I couldn't. I might not have had massive suicidal ideations, but what I felt or what I experienced was I wanted to die. And knowing that I already had a plan, it was beneficial to have somebody take my medicine in the event that something was to trigger me and um, have the desire to commit suicide. Anyway, so that's where Hope Six comes from. And then I moved down to Georgia. I think I had completed 3 or 4 sticks in about 3 months because I left in July. So I completed these sticks. I gave one to my psychiatrist. I gave one to my friend Karen. Hey, Karen. Um, I think Karen's is the coolest stick I've ever made. Just some amazing Alaskan wood. But anyway, when I got to Georgia, I started to tinker around with sorry, not bamboo, but making wind chimes. Man, that was an epic fail. And then I made crosses. I made regular size crosses and little mini crosses. But these things helped me with my anxiety. And I know for a fact that if it wasn't for Hope Sticks, I'd still probably be struggling because Hope Sticks has given me hope. And that's that's what it's all about, is having hope. So the idea behind Hope Sticks now is it's changing, and I need your help. I'm asking for your help. I want we need to start talking about mental health so that we really can reduce the negative social stigma surrounding mental illness. For the longest time I was ashamed. I too felt that negative social stigma, so I hid it. You know those commercials for like Vraylar or something like that, where they have that mask in front of them that's a smiley face? That's the way it is for many people who are suffering from mental illness. They've got a mask in front of them. I want us to get rid of those masks. I want us to be able to communicate different types of mental illnesses so that we can figure out how to combat it. I know it's not going away, but my goodness, how we handle it, from first responders to teachers to everybody who is, and that's everybody because we all deal with people. Learning signs and symptoms, not being afraid just because you don't know about it. If you don't know how to handle the situation, don't run. Don't run away. Find somebody who can. Because you know what? It's on your hands if something happens, and you don't want that. So, Hope Six is changing. I'm still going to keep my products. I'm still going to make my products. Those are still staying. However, the mission has changed. And the mission has changed into something a little bit more, a lot deeper. I want I want Hope Sticks to turn into an advocacy group. I want to bring awareness. I eventually want to turn it into a 501c3. So right now I'm looking for a handful of people who can join me in a discussion group and help be the front runners, the foundation builders of Hope Sticks and what's to come. I can't pay you anything other than knowing what you're doing is helping somebody. And that's what I'm asking. So if I can find a good 6 people, I'd really appreciate it. You do not have to be in Georgia. You can be scattered anywhere in the world, and we will accommodate through Zoom or Teams. I haven't figured it out yet how we're going to get together and make this work. But I want you to be part of my team. And I'm asking you to have faith in me and trust in me that we will together fight this. As your advocate, I want to be your advocate. So, as your advocate, come to me. Let me know how I can better assist you. At this time, I do have a phone number that if you want to get in touch with me, you can text me or call me. If I do not answer, please leave a message. I do have a full time job. But you can reach this Hope Sticks number at 678 621 3044. Again, that's 678 621 3044. Please know I'm here for you. I'm here to listen and maybe offer you advice or get you to the right people. If you are having some sort of additional crisis or suicidal ideations, please text or call 988. That is the National Crisis Hotline. So please use that as well. So for right now, this is going to be the end of this podcast. But what I wanted to let you know is that I'm going to come back to you every week. Um, I haven't decided on the day yet. Friday seems like a good day, but we might try another day. So, but what our topic is for next week is going to be What is mental illness? So, we're going to be covering that topic. I'd love for you to join me. I will keep you posted about what time it's going to be at. And just think about some questions that you may have. And I'll be also want to let you know that hopefully pretty soon I will be bringing in a therapist who can do some questions and answers for you. So, hope you have a really good day, great weekend, and we will talk soon. Don't forget, let's talk about mental health so we can reduce the negative social stigma surrounding mental illness. Take care.